Hi, welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about trains. Train is a powerful tool of Unity that you can make surfaces with it. I'm going to the asset store and find textures for trains. Okay, I found this stylized train texture by Lolly Poly. You can also check other assets of this creator. He has lots of assets, and if you found some of these useful for your project, download them. Anyway, the context of this video is terrain, so I want to add these assets to my project and click on Open Unity. And it should pop up here. I don't know what is it, but I'm going to now have that asset in my assets. I can manually add them by clicking on Window and then click on Package Manager and then go into My Assets under Package tab and then find the assets called Stylized Terrain Textures. So I click on Refresh. It's right here. Then I click on Download. It starts to download into the package. After downloading the package, we should click on Import to import it on our project. You can see the folders and the textures and the materials and scene. Currently, we only have worked with scene, and in later videos I will discuss materials and textures. This scene is the current scene that are currently we are working on it. And in a stylized terrain texture, there is a folder called scene, and inside it there is another scene called stylized terrain. And Unity alerts us we have unsaved chains, so we click on save, the last thing save, and we are into the next thing. And as you can see, we are seeing the terrain textures that we downloaded. Textures are images, and like this is a texture, and materials make them look more realistic by adding this stuff, which in later videos I discuss them. They are not the subject of this session. And here I want to make an I go to the scene view and I am going to make a train. Trains commonly used in many games. And you can make rocks and mountains with them. And I think rocks wasn't a good example. You can create mountains and green surfaces and surfaces that are in nature usually made by trains. And trains has a lot of features. And by clicking on paint train, we can paint our train. And by these, we can make these surfaces that are looking like mountains. And you can also choose the brush that you're going to use. And we also can paint holes in our terrain, but I don't like them, so I undo them by clicking on Ctrl and Z and Command Z, I guess, if you're on Mac. And you can also click on Shift, and then instead of raising of the position of the train, you can lower the train. For example, I'm going to lower these surfaces. I click on Shift and then click on the left click. You see the train lowers. There is also another thing that is very important, it's set height. You can set the height. For example, I'm going to make this 25, and you can see if I'm going to rise the terrain, it no longer rises above the 25 metric of a unity system. And if I make this 30 on the left side of it, you can see there is a small surface that is above the surface that is next to it. And now go to the paint texture tab and click on edit terrain layers. Click on create layer, and we want to build this width, but currently I'm going to click on this, and you can see our terrain looks more white because we added the white, gray and white layer into it, and it gets its color. If I zoom on this terrain, you can see it has the gray part and the white parts. White, gray, white, gray, 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 white, white. So if we want to paint our texture, we click on create layer, and this is the texture that we downloaded. We click on it and then click on it here, and we can now paint our terrain. For example, I'm going to make these surfaces brown, and currently they look like a mountain. And we can also paint with other brushes. For example, with this one we can add, sorry, we should make the opacity a little lower, so you see the textures of the paint now golden. And if we make this so much lower, you can see it has part of it. So we can add more twin layers, and if we had more of it, for example a green like grass one, we can make these places green, and our mountains are brown. And this is the train system. It has a lot of features, but I'm not going to talk about them because, for example, uh, I'm not discuss normal map. In later videos, in material section, I will discuss that. But if you want to make a beautiful world, you can start with this train system, and you can make surfaces that are not very complex, and you can find them on nature, because something like car and a smaller stuff smaller stuff aren't stuff that we build with train system is for the large and a place that you will see in nature. So that's it for this video. You can read lots of about train in Unity documentation, and I hope this video was useful for you, and if you found it useful, like and subscribe.